First, hey, we're in the kitchen with Harlan. Harlan is showing everyone what's up with serving all the way from table setting on out. Thanks, Harlan.
I'm happy to do it. I will be here Thursday night to help you with the dinner too. So basically, all starts with the tablecloth. Tablecloth's got to come on the table first before we set anything else on it. So go ahead and pull that over there. Just pull it to your side again. We just want to go around and make sure that it's even all the way around. Looks pretty even all the way around. So you ladies should go ahead and get up and take a look at it. Make sure it's even all the way around.
So Harlan, this is a floor length, but some are shorter. So and sometimes
some are shorter, absolutely.
Sometimes you might use a square as well, right?
Sometimes we might use a square over the top of this one if we want to pick up some color or something. We'll often do that. Obviously, if it's a square table, you're going to have square tablecloth that goes on it. But for rounds, it's always more elegant when they go all the way to the ground. We will have some that only go to about halfway. But like I said, it just makes for a more elegant table when the tablecloth goes all the way to the ground. And that's what's important, is that the table looks really, really nice before dinner's served. Okay. Basically what we're going to do...
We have a runner too, Harlan.
Okay. Yes, we do have a runner. Right. This is the napkin. This is the runner. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Our tags are going to flip over.
This right here. Yep, we'll get that. We can, yeah, other way around. We definitely don't want the tag shut. And most of the time, tablecloths won't have a tag on it. Or if you keep this here, you can certainly put the tag off because there's no difference in the tablecloth on either side. In other words, again, it's exactly the same on both sides. A lot of times there will be a difference. There will be a smooth edge to the tablecloth. Is it even on that side? Okay, so just bring it that way a little bit. There you go. So it's even all the way around. Okay, next thing is going to come on is runner. Runner's just going to go right down the middle of the table to pick out some, give it some color. Okay. How far down are you on that side? Okay, it looks like we're about the same on this side, so there you go. Okay. Then let's go ahead and make sure that the chairs are all around the table. Okay, now, are we going to do tables of 8? Okay, so we're doing tables of 8. Bring that other chair in here. What you want to do is make sure that your chairs are all balanced. Okay? When by balanced, I mean they have the same distance apart. You know what I mean? So that they're perfectly balanced around the table. You don't have 3 right next to each other, and this one right next to each other, and 2 over there. You want it perfectly balanced all the way around the table. Right? Same space in between. Okay? That looks pretty good. Now, next thing we're going to do is the charger. This black thing right here is the charger, and the plates are going to go on the charger. Okay? So, we've got chargers here. So what we'll need to do is take these out and set them all the way around the table. There you go.
Now, Harlan, these are a wipe down, right? So, the night of the event, we'll just want to make sure these have a nice, nothing's on them, right? These aren't a washed plate.
Like anything, when that person, okay, you want it right here at the edge of the table, right in front of the guy. I don't want it up here. So it's very, very important that every place setting matches. Every place setting looks exactly the same. You want this, there's going to be a really, really nice dinner, so we want this place to look really awesome when they sit down.
Do you center it off a chair or as a guideline?
Right off the chair. Everything balanced and everything even. That's why I said you want to have the same spacing in between the chairs, because when you do that, if your chairs are too close together, then all of a sudden this comes too close together and it's not totally balanced. What you want is this table to be totally
So you see even this space
balanced.
here, your spacing should all be somewhat, so
Should
that
be
means each
very,
person
very
has the same
close.
amount of room.
Should be in,
Not
Yeah.
big gaps, right?
yeah.
There you go.
So that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good.
But you see what he's saying, how you want it here too as well?
Yeah,
guys?
you want that charger all the way at the edge of the table. Okay? Maybe because it's a big charger, you're definitely going to want that right at the edge of the table all the way around. Okay?
Okay, so we will have a centerpiece. It'll be something, guys, so you just need to know that that's going to be something about that size. We won't go much bigger than that because the size of the table. We don't want to make it too high to where people can't talk to each other when they're sitting down. It might be a candle, it might be some coffee beans, but it'll be something similar to that.
Next thing you're going to do is we've got these napkin rings. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take the napkins here and we're going to take it, double it up like this, and then just go through the napkin ring. And the reason I'm doing that is because it will shorten it some. Okay? So you want it about this, just like this right here. Okay, so double it up.
Can you show me that one more time?
Sure. Okay, I'm taking the napkin like this, and I'm taking it corner to corner.
Why don't you guys all follow along, okay?
Taking the napkin, I'm taking it corner to corner. Then I'm just going to fold it.
One more time, Harlan. Your
Okay.
white shirt makes a nice
Basically-
background.
Basically what I'm doing is I'm just going to roll it up and then fold it in half. And the reason I'm doing that is because now I've got little pointed ends. Just makes it look a little bit nicer.
Harlan, one more time, start to finish,
Which way
please.
Okay,
Roll
okay.
harder?
Watch it,
Basically,
watch it.
big in here. Just take that in and just roll it up. See, I could take this napkin right here, I could put it here, roll it up, and then go here. But the difference is if I take it in a triangle, and then I just roll it this way, then I fold it in half.
Thank you for wearing the white shirt as a background.
Sure, sure. Then you end up with something that looks a little bit nicer.
Wow, nice.
See?
Now, do
Then
you do
end
the
up with something that looks a little bit nicer.
do you do the triangle
Now,
fold?
This should go just like this.
Perfect. Do you do the triangle fold at the shop at Cafe
At the
Mel?
restaurant, we fold our napkins differently. We don't
Okay.
use the rings.
Okay, you do the
We actually just fold it into a little triangle that goes right on the
Okay.
bread plate. I think this is a little more elegant,
okay,
but we don't have the napkin rings at Cafe Mel.
perfect.
And so, okay, lovely. Okay, now, and it's, it's just, all we're trying to do is make sure that when somebody sits down, we've got a really, really nice looking table going for them. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the menus that night, put them right on the charger, and then put the napkin right over the menu. Okay?
And they'll be small and really nice looking.
Yeah, yes. So when they pick up the napkin, they've got the menu right there. Okay? Now, silverware. Is this a steak knife that we're using?
Yes.
Okay. And those are spoons that we're using, or this?
Probably the teaspoon
Are
one.
we doing a soup or no?
Can you take some forks out of plastic? That was the whole plan of getting silverware ready. These guys have to do that, please. Watch, guys. You guys watch what he's doing.
Okay, there should be a longer fork here.
We might have got all, Mayor, I think, told us to get all the same.
Oh, did
Not
he?
do a salad.
Okay.
There may be a salad, though. See if you find a salad there, because if not, we'll use 2 regulars and a salad.
That's perfect. I mean, they don't necessarily have to be different sizes. Sometimes there will be a salad fork that's slightly smaller than your dinner fork, but again, they don't have to be. Okay.
So, explain the etiquette part of this.
Okay.
please.
Basically, forks on the left, always forks on the left, your knife with the cutting edge into the tape, into the plate, into the charger, and then the spoon next to it. Basically, rule of thumb is, sometimes people are overwhelmed when they sit down to see all this silverware. You work outside and you work in. So if you ever sit down to a table and you see all these forks, you don't know what to do, we made it so that this fork will go with your first course, and then this fork will go with your next course. We could even have 3 forks here, or 4 forks here, because most of the time you would pick up a fork with the dish. Okay? Now, if you're, let's say you don't have enough room for 3 or 4 forks out there. What we'll do is we'll do 2, and then we'll pick up the fork with the course, and then we'll lay a fork back down for them to use.
For this chicken, we did a class. We can have a dessert spoon on top.
We will have a dessert spoon on the top. Absolutely.
So for this dinner,
Or we
that might be just this.
It might be just that. Then again, if it's a cake and we want to use a fork, we could do that. If it's a cake and we want to use a fork, we can always put that here. Okay, now water goblets, wine glasses.
So, can I have 2 wine glasses, guys, please?
Water goblet's going to go right above the knife. Okay? Do we have a couple wine glasses over there?
Yeah, they need water goblets as well.
Yeah, we can start doing it over.
So why don't you guys practice doing a couple of those while Harlan's coming? So each one you do a setting, please. And then even how we grab utensils when we're setting things up.
Okay, we never handle the silverware where somebody's going to be eating it. Okay, same with glassware. We never handle glassware up around here. We always grab the bottom third of the glass. Always grab the bottom third of the glass, and then if you're filling up somebody's drink, take the glass away, fill the drink, and then put it back.
Okay, very important.
Now,
Harlan, a salad
if
fork
somebody's
showed
sitting
up.
here, it's perfect, absolutely beautiful. Okay, see, salad fork is slightly smaller. Okay, and you would use the same for dessert. So you'd have an entree fork and then a salad for a dessert fork. Okay.
Okay, Harlan needs 2 of those.
Once again, just so you understand, when we're filling up people's waters, somebody is going to be sitting here. I'm going to come right over their right shoulder, grab the glass, fill it up, set it back down. Again, bottom third. I don't want to put a pitcher in front of somebody's face. First of all, ice could end up spilling on the table. You know, water could end up spilling on the table. Plus, it's rude to have a pitcher in somebody's face.
Okay.
So always take the glass, pour it. If it does happen to spill, it spilled on the ground, it didn't spill on the person, and then put it back. Wine's a little bit different. When we do pour wine, we will come right over the shoulder, and we'll pour the wine. And the trick to pouring wine is to give it a little twist when you're done pouring it. That will keep it from dripping. Okay? So that's a little trick of the trade. When
We'll have
pour the
4.
wine,
Oh, sorry. We'll have 4 of those out.
perfect. So when you have 4 of them out, they just go just like this.
Table's gonna look pretty incredible, you guys.
It's going to look beautiful.
4 glasses per setting.
Yep.
Okay? And this seating is going to be a little bit tight, so we're going to need to get these just like that. That way I've got room for this guy right here, starting the next guy, because Nyquil spoon's going to be right here. And like I said, again, if it gets a little bit too tight, we'll just pull one of the forks away, and then we'll bring the fork to him right before we serve that course.
Question, Harlan. So we would probably not bring out, because of the spacing on this table, the ceramic saucer and coffee and have it on, or would we?
I would not.
Okay.
I would do coffee upon request, because by the time you get a coffee and saucer here, we don't even have a bread plate on it
Right.
now. So it's going to get very, very tight.
So because of what we were trying to accomplish at the dinner, having the wine glasses is overwhelming our table. So you would normally have, as he has this set here, on a saucer, ready to go, so that you could have coffee at the end of the meal. And then there'd be a bread plate. So you see how fast this table's filling up really quick. So that's why when they set the menu, they're doing past breads. But they're still going to have to eat that bread over something. So that's something we'll have to work out.
Well, I mean, they could certainly.
I think we have enough.
We're doing that with the salad course. Where's the menu?
It comes right here. It comes out with the bread is with the second course.
Which is a salad. They can have that right on their salad.
Okay, great.
I don't think it's necessary to have a bread plate.
So you see how quick this is filling up, guys? And then make sure you understand the difference in these forks. Salad is the small one. Okay?
Salad and dessert is your smaller fork.
Harlan, quick question.
Yes.
At Cafe Med, before you guys set tables, do you guys have a polishing towel that you polish all your silverware with?
Every piece of silverware that comes through that restaurant gets polished. It comes out, every glass gets polished. You want to get me heated up real fast, let me find a glass that has lipstick on it, or a fork that hasn't been wiped down. No excuse for it, strictly laziness. It comes out of your dishwasher, and you take a napkin, a dish bar towel, and you wipe it down. Then you put it away. That way, it's put away clean. You don't ever have to take a chance in the heat of a rush in a big, busy restaurant, pulling the glass, fill it up with soda, take it out to the person that's got lipstick all over it.
Right.
So.
And even our glasses, you're going to want to do that when you set it down, because you might notice some of these just in transit, somebody got fingerprints on it.
What we would normally do is wipe down every single glass and every single piece of silverware, and that's something we would do before the guests arrive.
And then the servers even check all that before it goes out, right? From dish
And something could be missed, so we check every glass. Take a look at every glass before we send it out. Make sure it's clean.
I mean, silverware as well. You don't want to be having someone sit down with a old rusty carrot on their
No doubt
fork
about
time.
it. Or fingerprints, or just anything. It's got to be wiped down. It's got to be wiped down.
So that night you'll probably have on your person, in addition to an apron, dressed nice, is a small rag. And especially if you're pouring, you would see Harlan come to the table, there's a rag there behind him, and that's not the rag he might use. But if he's pouring wine, he will always have something near his arm or on his person just to clean up any drips.
There you go. Usually draped over the arm like this. Okay? And
Now,
then,
would you, sorry, let's say Zachary is a patron, scoot up to the table. Would you ever tap on the shoulder, say, excuse me, or do you just not interrupt? What's the etiquette around serving?
Okay. The etiquette around serving is we serve to the left. Serve with the left, pull with the right. That's serving etiquette. Okay? So
Catch that? Serve to the left. So if you're going
Serve to
to
the
bring him a
left.
plate, let's say the first course is here. If
hey,
you're bringing...
let's do this.
Okay, sorry.
All of you right here with me. All of you right here with me. Okay? Carry your plate in your left hand, plate in your left hand. Doesn't matter the size right now, I just want you to understand the concept. Okay? Plate in your left hand, and I got one in my left hand. Now, you might have two plates, but we're only going to use the left hand. Okay? So what I want you to do is let's all walk around right now. Let's get the napkins removed. Let's pretend like somebody's seating. And let's all walk around and set it down with your left. Okay? Let's go right now. Okay. See how nice that was?
Wow.
Everybody going and doing it at the same time like that? See how impressive that was? Okay? Then you would take your right hand. Now I've got dishes in both, right? Okay? I've already done my left hand here, right? Because I'm coming right over their shoulder. I'm not working across them. Okay? And then I've got my dish in my right hand. I just switch it to my left, and I serve to the left. Okay? And then when I'm pulling, when this gentleman is finished, excuse me, and I'll reach in very slowly. He'll let me know if he's done or not. I'm going to watch him. When he puts his fork like that, that tells you that he's done. Not everybody will do it that way, but if you see it that way, you know you can take that plate. Now, if somebody has it like that, and you go to take their plate, and they're like, oh no, I'm not finished, well then they just don't understand the proper etiquette. And we don't really care Okay, that's fine, we'll come get it later. I'm not gonna say, you just don't know proper etiquette, buddy, you know? So, anyway, I'm gonna pull with the right again. I'm not gonna reach over here and pull here, okay? I'm gonna walk around, put the dish in my left hand, pull from the right again.
Okay, girls, let's hear it. What hand do we serve
Pull from
with?
the right again.
Left,
What hand do we pick up with?
right.
Perfect.
Okay?
Harlan, quick,
Serving etiquette.
quick question.
Yes.
So say they're coming and somebody is done, but they've done something like this.
What you would do is go ahead and take it. You want to hold on to your napkin, sir? Just like that. Okay.
Now, do you see how he did that? That looks very easy, but remember, he's been doing this for a long time. You might be a little wobbly, and you don't want forks clanging all over, and you also have to realize space. He might have another table just 2 feet behind him, so you're going to have to do all that movement very, very cool.
But you know what? Things are going to happen. Things will get dropped. Things will get spilled. Things can go wrong. They do. I've done it. You apologize. You smile. You're friendly. Because things will happen. Terribly sorry about that, sir. Here, let me get a damp rag so we can clean that up. You know, I mean, people generally are very, very nice about it. If you're nice, so. And the most important thing is a big smile on your face at all times, okay? We're here, our guests are having a good time, and we're having a good time. Nobody wants to see somebody serving them that has a big old frown on their face and doesn't want to be there. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
There's nothing. We're here to have a good time. Even us people that are working. It's all about that gentleman right there having a great experience. And whatever I can do to make that experience for him better, then that's what I'm here for.
Perfect. Harlan, if each is assigned to a table, how do they know when water's appropriate? I mean, you don't want to be stalking people with water service, but
I mean, obviously, if the water is down this much, no big deal. But if it's down here, then refill it. Refill it, okay? So, there again, you just have to make sure that you grab the glass, pour it, set it down. Got it?
and then on the coffee serve. So since we will make an announcement, coffee upon request, it's a hot item. How are they handling that with a saucer?
Okay, the coffee, we will reach over and pour the coffee here.
Are we going to do cappuccinos and lattes?
Yes, but I want to just get this part down, sorry. That's not, saucers are small. I don't know where they're at. But at any rate,
I mean,
so you will have a
you know what?
carafe.
A coffee carafe, I find it much easier to do here because if this coffee's on a saucer, it's a bit cumbersome to try and pull this out with a saucer, pour the coffee. And then again, I think it's kind of tacky just to pull it here, leave the saucer there, and pour it. So I think we're okay reaching
That's over the right shoulder?
Right shoulder. Because this gentleman's coffee is going to be in his right hand. Okay, normally if we had room, it would be coffee here, bread plate here. Often with chargers, they're big, so it's going to take up a lot of table space. But look how much more elegant it looks with the charger.
Okay, questions, ladies? Now, you'll be plating, so a lot of your traffic's going to come from way over there and down an aisleway. So
Okay.
how would you set that?
I will be here, I'll be here Thursday night to help you with your first one. Okay, because there's some really, really important details while we're serving that are very important. Every plate is a clock. That's 12 o'clock, that's 6 o'clock. Okay? So every time we go to set a plate down in front of somebody, we want to make sure I've got 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. And that's done by your foods. Okay? So your entree is going to be in the bottom, maybe your starch is up here and your vegetables up here. Again, balance. Your table wants to be balanced. So that every time this plate gets put in front of somebody, it's 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So every single time I put a plate down, it's exactly where it's supposed to be. 6 o'clock right at the guy's belly button, 12 o'clock up here. Okay, now let's say, and this is always just a nice thing to do, years of experience, like Randy said, I set the plate down. If it's a little bit off, I just give it a little turn. Got it? So it's 12 and 6.
Men versus women being served first at a table.
Ladies all the time. Ladies all the time. It just makes you look so much better. So if the 4 of us are going to go up to this table and serve, and there's going to be 8 people at this table, all 4 of us are going to serve the ladies first. Okay? Doesn't necessarily, when you go to pick up, you pick up when everybody's done. When they're finished with that plate, you pick it up. So there isn't necessarily a pattern for pulling plates, but there's definitely a pattern for putting the plates down, and that's ladies first always. Okay? If I'm in a restaurant and I'm taking the order, I always take the ladies' order first. If I'm taking the food out, I always serve the ladies first. Okay?
Because of the amount of people that are going to be here, there's 8 tables. Will there be one server, or will there be all of us serving one table at a time?
4 tables.
4 tables.
There'll be several servers. I wouldn't expect one person to take care of. Remember, these people are having a very nice meal, and we're going to want to give them great service.
So we will have 1 per table and then a water person.
So basically, a waiter and a busser for every table. That's awesome. That's awesome because, remember, I'm here to make sure these guests are taken care of. They're pampered. They got a fancy dinner here. We want to knock their socks off. We don't want them to ask for a thing.
So Harlan, can you explain the balance of that? Let's say that everyone is seated at this table, having a wonderful meal. They're not supposed to be back in the back snacking. They should always be where?
Take a look at the table. I'm either going to get something for my guests, or I'm keeping an eye. Okay, just like this. Okay, walk around, see if they need anything. Okay, he needs his plate full. Okay, he needs his water refilled. Okay, now I've gotten everybody's waters all the way around the table. Now we're waiting till everybody's done. Once they're done, we're going to go grab the next course. But eye on your customer. Eye on your customer.
Harlan, so when food gets plated and it's brought out, whose job is it to make sure plates are wiped?
It's going to be that last person coming out of the kitchen. Mayor's going to make absolutely sure. But I'm the last line of defense. That's what we often say in the restaurant business. I'm the last line of defense. So they made sure that that plate's clean, but I go and pick it up and I notice, uh-oh, there's a little spot there that needs to be cleaned. I make sure it is. If that plate doesn't look right, I deal with the kitchen and make sure it looks right before I take it out. If I notice something's wrong on that plate, I bring it to their attention right there. I don't take it out unless it's right.
And because we're in tight quarters, that conversation between server and kitchen is tight. It's low key.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, dipshit! This plate's dirty. That doesn't work. Okay? It's just, you can wipe it down yourself. The conversation in a dinner like this, dinner setting like this, needs to be very, very quiet and very professional. Everybody got it?
Yes.
Very quiet, very professional.
As you talk about standing back there and keeping an eye on your guests, what interaction, if any at all, do you have with your table as a server?
Bakersfield is a little bit of a different place. It's very, very family-oriented. Everybody, a lot of people in this town know each other. If I was going to a fancy dinner in Las Vegas, didn't know the wait staff, then there would be absolutely no conversation with the guest. Absolutely none other than, are you finished with that? That would be the only conversation. But if somebody engages in the conversation with you, absolutely. I mean, I've been doing this for years, so I know a lot of people in this town because I've waited on them over the years. Marge Nixon will be here that night. Certainly I'll have a conversation with Marge Nixon. She's like family. I've known her forever. So,
and they'll want to engage you because of who we are and what we do. But you just have to remember that you're always pleasant, but we also are doing things. So we don't want to just, kneel down. Like I've had conversations with Harlan at the restaurant with Kim and I. And so he'll come over, he'll kneel down to where nobody else is seeing him, and we'll have a nice talk, but then he'll say, excuse me, I need to go take care of this. Or just the other day, we were sitting there talking, excuse me, let me finish this bill. So even in engaging, you still are serving.
and it's very, very important because I'm sitting there, I got to get this food out. I mean, I've got a million things I need to do, and this guy will not shut up, and he wants to keep me here forever. You know what? Hold that thought. I'll be right back. I got to get some food out. Get yourself away. Get yourself away. You have to sometimes. Don't want to be rude about it, But it's like, you know what? I'll be back in a few minutes. I've got to get some food out. I'll be right back.
So, sorry, on the wine pour, you know, there's going to be 4 courses. There'll be a wine with each course. So, whoever is stewarding that will say, you know, now we'll be bringing out. So they will remove the dirty, right?
If the glass is empty, we'll remove it. If not, if there's wine in it, he may want to try that wine throughout the whole dinner. So, you know, most people, if there's wine in it, leave the glass unless he tells you to go ahead and remove it. Okay? And then he'll say, I'm finished with the Chardonnay. You go ahead and grab that.
So how full are we pouring wine?
When we pour wine, you only go to about right here.
So the end of the...
What basically
And that's,
you would go,
in a restaurant, but what our guy's going to do on a tasting level is down into here. He said about an inch below the logo. And
Which
that's different than when Harlan goes into a restaurant.
That's how I would normally pour it. I wouldn't pour it all the way up to here. This is what we do. See where the glass is rounded at its peak right here? That's where you would pour to for a glass of wine. Now, if somebody orders wine by the glass, that's what I'm going to pour to so they don't get cheated, okay? But normally if I'm just pouring, I'm going to bring it down a little bit because part of wine is, you see people do this with their glass. The more you learn about wine, the more amazed you'll be by it. Because what happens is, if you smell that, yeah, okay, you know, it smells pretty good. But when you do that, the air opens up that wine and you get so much more of an aroma out of it. So that's why people do that.
So Harlan's talking about the difference between a bottle and a glass. So in restaurants and even here, if we were to get to that level, or if you were to work somewhere, when somebody orders by the glass, they're paying $7, $8, upwards sometimes $20 for that one glass. So that's why they want a glass where he's saying full. However, if the table buys a bottle, or for like this instance, it's almost like they bought a bottle. So that bottle is to be shared amongst that table. So then you don't have to do the big pour because they're going to get the whole bottle over the night.
Exactly right. And with the wine here, it just allows more air for the glass and allows them to do their little, you know.
So a full pour is where it starts to go back in. So right up to where if you cut it, it would be the fullest point. Where that smaller
on any
pour.
glass, on pretty much any of your Bordeaux glasses, it's the same thing. That's where you're going to pour to. I mean, you know, in the old days, people would go out and they'd have smaller wine glasses and they'd see it poured all the way here. In fact, I'll bet if you go to
World Growers
Red
Norvegas,
Lobsters or some other places, they'll pour it right there. But your nicer wines, you want to leave room for the air because you want to experience that. You want to experience all that wine has to offer. And wines are just amazing. They are amazing things because they change in the bottle. They change from year to year. They will change with age. You know, you take a Cabernet that is a 2011, and you take a Cabernet that's a 1995, and that 95 Cabernet is just going to be incredible because 95 was a great vintage, a great year.
Can you, I would like you guys to get a look at the difference between the glass of these two glasses, the water goblet and the wine. And you'll note a couple differences. Okay, look at the thickness around the rim. Go ahead and get in there. Look at the thickness around the rim of the water glass and feel how heavy it is. Okay, that's a typical banquet restaurant water glass. But now feel the wine glass and look how thin the top is. Okay, the big difference also is in here. Hold up your glass, the wine glass for me. Yeah, the stem, everything's light, but watch this. Bring that over here, Pete. Oh, watch. Let go of the bottom. No, take your hands and put it down here like mine. Right. Put that up to your ear. Hear that? Okay, now that's a really fine glass. Marge, who he mentioned, got us all these glasses so that we wouldn't have a really great bottle of wine in a horrible wine glass. And that's how a lot of people are, especially the people that will be coming to our dinners. So that's why we went to this extra length to get those kind of glasses. Saying that, these are very fragile, right? These goblet ones, you could probably knock around, bang around. You did that with these bad boys, that's about $8 each that we're looking at. So some of the stuff is fragile. These plates you'll find are a little bit thicker and nicer. So, you know, you just want to be careful in the busyness of being fast.
definitely want to be careful. Breakage is a huge, huge issue. I mean, like Randy just said, $8 a glass. These plates are beautiful. They've got a pattern on them. They're going to be ruined if they chip.
And we can't replace them. That's it. They're vintage.
So when these plates go in a bus tub, when it's all done, we're going to scrape the food off, and then we're going to be very careful how we set these down. Okay? You can't just throw them dish against dish. They're gonna chip. So we got to be very, very careful with them. Got it? So because once we start losing plates, then we don't have match. Then we can't use any of them because they don't match anymore. Or instead of having a party for 40, we only got 20 plates. Well, we could only have a party for 20 of us, like, you know. So it's very, very important that you're careful with your dishes.
So we have our 8 people here, and 3 of them are done, and we take the plates. Do we automatically serve them again, or do we wait till the whole table's done to serve?
We wait till the whole table's done. Every course will go out the same, and it won't start until that last person's done with their salad. We won't go with any entrees until that very last person's done.
On that
Until that last plate's been full.
Sorry, Harlan, on that particular table, so we've got 4 different tables, and we're gonna have somewhat of an assembly line, I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking that, right? So if that table's not complete and the other 3 are, we start removing and serving the other 3, or are you waiting for that 4th and final table to be complete with its?
It will really, a lot of the stuff is you have to read. Okay. Obviously, if everybody's been done for a long time except this one guy over here that will not finish his salad and he's holding everybody else up and we're ready to go with the food, we're not going to hold it up over that one guy, okay, because everybody else is done. We'll go ahead and start serving, and in the meantime, he'll get done with the salad and we'll pull that.
And the other thing is, because of the type of meal this is, you will have a chef and a wine steward working together to get those things out. Okay, so Harlan may be what we call an expediter. He may help you guys. He may do whatever to help the food get to the tables. So there will be someone then that is watching that, because the wine guy is going to get up, for example, and he's going to say, you know, right after, say Harlan gives him the cue, it looks like everybody's done with their appetizer, and he's going to get up and he's going to say, hey, this next wine is a blah, 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 vintage, blah, blah, grown here, blah, 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 and you're going to enjoy that with this. And then Chef Mayor may come out and say, I prepared this dish for you because we thought this, this, and this, and then it's get it on time. Or while even they're talking, it's being done. But that's the unique nature of this. This is a really, really unbelievable event that I've not even seen happen kind of in Bakersfield. Cafe Med's done some of them, but we're calling it the In the Kitchen series because literally you're inside the kitchen and he's going to be cooking, smell, and everything's going to be right here. And so it's a pretty big foodie. When we say foodie, that means anybody that really likes food, like somebody's a fan of baseball, you call them a baseball fan. A foodie is anybody that is really into foods and wines, coffees, and that stuff. It's a big culture in LA, San Francisco. Here, Cafe Med, Valentine's, Gino Luigi's, there's restaurants like that kind of lead this foodie charge. And these guys make up stuff. I mean, you look at this menu, it's insane. And, you know, even when you went out and had the cheese at Valentine's, you're like, shoot, give me some Velveeta. And she's having like an $8 slice of cheese, and she's like, oh.
The taste of the cheese.
I know.
Of it, and she gave me the option to taste a different one. I think it was an espresso, some type of cheese.
Yeah.
And like everybody was sitting waiting for me to finish that cheese to start the next course. I was
She didn't like the sliminess of the brie.
No,
You know what? There's foods I don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, I like almost everything, but there's certain foods that I just...
Yeah, that was funny though, because she goes, what is this? This is nasty.
I was like, I didn't want to say that. I was like,
No, it was
What you
cool.
want to do is try everything.
Yeah.
I mean, just try everything. And then decide, don't make them
Yeah.
you don't like it.
But then she did. She brought her an espresso cheese made in Utah, and she loved it. She's like, oh yeah, this is great. And some people don't. I mean,
I don't like blue cheese.
yeah.
I just am not a fan of blue cheese.
I like hard
love
cheeses.
it, you know, so
Yep.
I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's taste buds.
But you need to know that about folks. So there are folks that are coming, and someone might not, like I think I have a friend who's allergic to shellfish. So this whole appetizer would not even work for her. So she would have to say, no thank you. And then we might try to think about something else around that. We might not have everything here in the kitchen. At Cafe Med, if they would, then he's going to go get her something else and whip it up.
Right, absolutely. And then, if somebody's got a food allergy or something on a main entree, what they would normally do is let us know. So let's say we've got one vegetarian out of the whole group. Okay, we'll bring an eggplant parmesan for that vegetarian.
Can we fully do the table?
Can you go ahead and set it right now? Oh, absolutely, yeah. Whatever you guys want to do. I just want to come in, give you a basic idea as to how to set the table, and then I'll be back here Thursday night helping you with the service part of it and all that. That way you guys will be the best wait staff in town, and we'll just tear this place up.
Harlan, what time should you allow for setting things up, making sure if there's anything we break, we got to fix? I mean,
Well,
if
I
the
mean,
event starts at 6 on
If
Thursday.
the event starts at 6, then I would be here at 4:30 setting everything up, maybe even 4 o'clock. Because I do not want to be scrambling when the guests arrive. I want these tables set, and I want to be ready and relaxed with my game face on, ready to go. Everything's ready. You know, once you get yourself behind, it's really hard to catch up. And the last thing you want to do on a super fancy dinner like this is have guests arrive and have us right in the middle of trying to set our tables. So, we want to make sure it's all set up.
Do we have a required attire to wear?
Yes. Black, black, black.
Black pants, like shirt?
Black pants, nice black shirt,
Okay.
and you know, you don't want arms shown all the way here,
Okay.
and then we'll have aprons.
Harlan, should we, on water service, should we try to set 2 pitchers back here on this back table? So we're gonna have a table here, and then maybe a pitcher up here, so it's easier to serve waters and
Oh, absolutely.
set up that way.
Yeah. I mean, and if it's all clean and there's nothing but a tablecloth and a water pitcher, then this is your service station. It'll be just fine. Maybe even have some wines here, you know, for the wine steward.
Okay.
So, if you want to leave that table there, cover it with a tablecloth, and use that as a service table, sure.
And then the last question I had was, once food starts coming out for the first go-around, and we've got the 4 of us that will be serving, are we all working one table to get the food served and plated, and then...
You know what? I'm glad you asked that question, because it's all about teamwork, and it's all about that guest. This is not my table. I'll go get your waitress. That doesn't work. That does not work, okay? Whatever they need, we're going to get for them, whether it's our table or not, because they're all our tables. Got the concept? If plates need to be pulled over here, I'm going to go pull plates to help you out because we're a team. Okay? So when the food comes out, we're all coming out together. We're serving one table first, ladies, then the gentlemen, then we move on to the next table. Serve that table, then we move on to the next one. And we always start from the furthest table away from the kitchen.
So,
Okay.
this one?
Always start from the furthest table away from the kitchen and work your way back. Okay? Everybody understand that? And we never go to another table until everybody at this table has been served.
Okay.
Now, on occasion, that might vary a little bit because if I'm serving 200 people and this one is having an eggplant parmesan, a vegetarian dish, then I might have to go to this table before I get that eggplant parmesan because the food's coming out and I got to be setting it. But I'm going to make darn sure that I get this guy's food out as soon as I can, as quickly as I can. So what would happen from the kitchen standpoint is, okay, we're plating chicken, need eggplant parm. We're plating eggplant parm, send it out. Plating chicken, need eggplant parmesan, send it out. Because I'm doing 200 chickens and I'm doing 3 eggplant parmesans. So understand how that works? That way you get that table set. That way everybody's done with that table. And the same thing, if they've got choice of items, we've done parties, and you guys may end up doing a party like this. Let's say they have a choice between a steak and a salmon. Kitchen's going to make sure that he's sending out 4 or 5 steaks and 3 salmons and just do it that way. So that we're not doing all the steaks and then coming out with all the salmon. Understand? Because by the time the salmon gets there, that guy's going to be done with the steak. So we want to make sure that that table, everybody at that table is eating before we move on to another table. Okay? Any other questions?
I have a question. As
Yeah.
far as the wine pour, you said we're pouring over the right shoulder, right? Okay, now, if we're going all the way to this side, we're just going to reach over if there's no
You know
wine.
what? Well, I mean, No, you could pour this one to make it easier.
Okay.
And you could pour it, you know, once you've got this many glasses, normally if they would just have the one glass, I'd be pouring over the right side.
Okay.
And then the other thing that I would do again is just give it a little turn, because that keeps it from dripping. Okay, just a little quarter turn will keep it from dripping. And then you want to make sure you don't fill it too full, about right here.
So, Harlan, last question, just as a motivator for these guys. I know that if I go out to eat and I have excellent service, I'm much more likely to get into my wallet and thank that person for a job well done, versus their smile, how they're treating me, everything's taken care of, and I know that person's happier because they're engaging me, and then I'm happy and I want to reward them.
The most important thing, the absolute most important thing when it comes to service is the service. I never look at a guy as dollar signs, because it's going to come to me, because I'm going to give him great service. This guy right here might be really, really cheap, and he's going to leave me a really lousy tip. Doesn't matter. I treat everybody the same, okay? Because this guy right here is going to give me way over 20%. He just had a $200 meal, and he's going to slip me 50 bucks. Just made 50 bucks off this one guy. You know, really? So there is really, really good money in doing what you do and doing it well. You've probably been out and that waiter's been rude. You've noticed he's rude. You gonna give that guy a tip? Heck no. Are you kidding me? I don't go out to eat to be treated rude. You know? But if I'm serving you, I am gonna do everything I can to make it the very best experience that you've ever had. Because I know what my reward is at the end. The reward really is the satisfaction of knowing that I've done a good job. You know, that's my reward, knowing that I've done a good job. And if I treat every customer exactly the same, I do the very best I can for every customer, then those tips are going to come. They're going to come, and they're going to be generous. And then like Randy said, in this town, I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years. I get to know people, you know, and they're always going to dish me a few extra dollars, you know, just because we're reminiscing and catching up and blah, blah, blah. And so instead of leaving me 20 bucks, he's going to leave me 30, you know, so.
And the other thing about that is, like he said, you're always watching, but you're also listening. We went out and had a meal last night, and Zach ordered and then asked the guy 2 or 3 different times about what happened, and the guy didn't listen to anything. Or if he did listen, he didn't act on it. So if someone says, you know, I would like that salad, but take off the onions, don't bring them a salad with onions on it. Because what you're saying to that person is, I heard you, but I don't really care.
Absolutely. He's
What
100% right.
if you served that food, that salad, the customer didn't know that they were getting onions on it, for that example. You remove the plate, take it back to the kitchen.
And get him another one with no onions and apologize. I am terribly sorry. The kitchen said there was no onions on it, but obviously there is some onions on it. I am terribly sorry. I will get you a new one right away. And I go there and I get him a new one right away, and I come right back with it, and I apologize again.
So listening is huge. I want poppy seed dressing, not vinaigrette. Make sure you bring them back what they asked for. Don't think that, you know, we just sit around and do whatever. You know how hard it is when you ask for something and somebody doesn't listen. It just makes your whole meal go south. I mean, all he did for the rest of the meal was pretty much complain about the server. And then the guy came back and tried to fix it, and even when the guy tried to fix it, he didn't listen. And so he brought hot wings that weren't hot wings. It was like little kid chicken fingers. Zach's just like, whatever. And you're paying for that.
Well, yeah. So what's your thought? Last time I'm coming here, right?
Yeah, it was everything that I ordered was wrong.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
ordered 2
So
things.
your thought is just like mine's going to be. Last time I'm coming here.
Versus,
You know?
I can't wait.
Can't wait to come back.
Yeah,
What
I
a
can't
great
wait until the
experience.
next
I
in the
saw-
kitchen dinner.
The guy was leaving the restaurant yesterday, and he's like, man, I don't know why we don't come here more often. That was so good. I don't know why you don't either. We're here. Come on back. You should be coming here more often.
So guys, any question?
Yeah, I do. So you talked a lot about do's and don'ts. You know, how to serve, how to listen, how to take requests on. What might be some other don'ts as far as serving specific to these things, being in pockets, you know, just some general
absolutely.
etiquette.
Believe me, the phone's nowhere in sight. It's off. You know, we're not smelling like cigarettes. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it, right? So, you know, hey, I'm just saying, you know what? A lot of people in our restaurant smoke. They do. But make sure you wash your hands. Make
Not
sure you